Brian Powell of I Run Far here with Stephanie Howe before the 2015 Lake Sonoma 50 mile. How are you doing, Stephanie?
Good, pretty good.
Yeah? You had a very strong 2014 season with great runs here and at Western States and at North Face. What do you think about your 2014 now that we're a couple months out?
It's going to be hard to top.
Yeah?
I had a really good year. I set some pretty lofty goals for myself and achieved most of them. So, I mean, it was, looking back at last year, it was just kind of, really kind of a dream.
Yeah?
I wanted to do my first 100 last year and to have it be Western States, but I never thought that I would win. So, it was pretty cool.
So you're a goal setter.
Yeah.
You got any goals for 2015?
A lot of, I do. I have some race goals. I want to continue to kind of improve upon things from last year. And I have some non-tangible goals too. One being mix things up and get out of my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done that at least once already this year. And try some new races. It's really easy to get comfortable and do the same races over and over again. So I always want to try new things, add different types of races. And this year, Way Too Cool was actually kind of a different race for me. It was fast. And then UTMB is going to be kind of a new area for me. And
those are totally different ends of the spectrum.
Totally.
But you've raced shorter stuff before, like coming from a Nordic background.
I have, yeah. It's not totally foreign to me.
But that's pretty quick. You were second there, correct?
I was, yep.
And a pretty fast time.
It was. It was a 40-minute PR for me in a 50K.
That must have felt pretty good.
It did. I didn't know I had it in me to run that fast. I kind of went into it a little nervous, and I surprised myself.
And especially so early in the season. That's March.
Yeah.
I'm guessing not a whole lot of snow up in Bend this winter?
No, unfortunately. And I plan to ski a lot this winter, and it didn't really happen that much.
So you kept some of that more of the running fitness than usual over the winter.
I did, yeah. I took a nice break, and then Zach and I went to Bali for a couple weeks, so there was no running during that time.
So you do take a full stop.
I do. I like to winterize,
yes,
as Scott Wolf says.
And that's worked out for you.
It has, yeah. I feel like it's really easy to just run all year round. Mm-hmm. You can race all year round, and if you don't set aside time for a break, I've 2 years ago, my bad year where I was injured, I didn't really take a good break, and I just kind of reflected on that, and it was like, okay, if I want to be in this long term, I need to take this time and not run.
Yeah.
So it's important.
So you're in pretty good fitness, and you're pretty good running fitness, but you also did get out of your comfort zone. I guess that's the Elk Mountain Grand Traverse ski race.
Yes, that was kind of a lot of new, intimidating things for me.
And what drew you to sort of try some ski touring?
Well, I enjoy doing skiing in the winter just to mix it up from running. And Zach had done that race before, and he wanted to do it again. And he kind of asked if I would be his partner, and I was kind of whoa, you want me to be your partner? This is something way out of my area. And I was like, yes, I want to do that. I will take that challenge. And for me, it wasn't so much about the skis and the snow, but starting at midnight. Mm-hmm. That if I could think of the worst time for me to be up and active, it's probably the middle of the night, and the altitude, and the cold. I was just all of these things together kind of made it just this challenge for me. So. And
unlike, say, if you were to do a running race in the Rockies in the middle, your focus race, say, in the middle of the summer, you weren't going to Elk Mountain to acclimate for weeks ahead. This was a fun adventure.
We went a couple days before. It was totally a fun adventure. And we had some friends there who were also racing. So it was it was the race, but then it was also about seeing people. And
yeah. There were a lot of ultra runners there.
There were so many ultra runners. It was so much fun to catch up with people.
Yeah. Maybe the whole shift to either skimo or ski touring now sort of highlights the whole winterize aspect.
Yeah, it's kind of becoming a popular thing to do, and I think it's great cross training because it's hard. You're still getting cardiovascular fitness, but it's not that pounding on your body, so it is a pretty good break.
Do you feel like it leaves any aspects of your running even stronger than they would be without it?
I think so. It's good for climbing
hills,
and that to me has been one of my weaknesses in running. I think steep climbs, and so I think the skimo helps it. Hopefully.
How do you feel coming into Lake Sonoma? You were second here last year. You ran just a couple minutes behind Emily Harrison, who had an amazing race. You
Yeah.
had a really strong run here.
Mhm.
Do you think you're sort of on par with that?
Yeah, I mean, my fitness is pretty similar to last year, maybe even a little bit stronger. I think I just have more experience. Just 50 miles is a good distance for me, so I'm going to go out there and hopefully I can have a race like last year. We'll see. You never know what happens. But I mean, I feel good. And this is, it's a race that I'm not really focusing on. I'm going to run my best tomorrow, but my sights are in the future.
Yeah. Which would be?
Western States and UTMB.
So you have quite a wide variety this year.
Yeah. I mean, and that's all about like that goal of getting out of my comfort zone and just trying different things.
Well,
yeah.
Good luck out there on Saturday. And a bonus question for you. I know after this weekend, you're meeting up with Cliff.
Yes.
And going to Boston to work with them at the marathon. Is it true that you had some of their organic food product at Western States last year?
True story. So they had some of the athletes test the product in the kind of the early spring, and I loved it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to have this for Western States. And so they gave me some, and they were in these little white containers that were unlabeled. And I couldn't talk about it. And they were great. And I'm so excited that they finally released it and I can talk about it and use it now. But for anyone who hasn't tried it, it's great. It's a savory flavor. It's made of sweet potato puree. There's a pizza and a sweet potato flavor, and they are delicious.
I've had the pizza, and I
love
I've had both, but the pizza.
It's just like when the last thing you want is a sweet gel, it's like the savory goodness.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine trying that out at Western States when it's 100 and something.
Yeah. I mean, I used it kind of early on, and then later, during the middle of the day, I had some tough fueling, which was mainly Sprite. Couldn't get much down.
A tougher question.
Yeah.
Cliff Wine or Wilson Winery wine?
Oh boy. Well, we're at the Wilson Winery, so I will say this is one of my favorite wineries in Healdsburg.
Pretty good. Enjoy.
Yep.